I'm Rob Elrick, and you're watching Dunlop TV.
It's your buddy Brian Kehoe from Dunlop TV, hanging out with the incredible Rob Elrick, maker of these fantastic Elrick bases. Like you tell me downstairs, you tell me about the wood on this base.
Well, this is actually, I mean, probably 90% of the instruments I build are swamp ash bodies. So this is just a two-piece swamp ash body and maple necks, which is
now
fairly commonplace.
Why do you choose swamp ash?
Swamp ash is one of these materials that you can get a 16-foot long board, and one end of it will be very light and soft, almost like cork. And the other end can be almost as hard as ash for baseball bats. So there's a lot of variety in terms of the weight and the density of the wood, and you can actually use it in a number of different ways through careful selection to tune up the sound of the body a little bit while using one specific species of wood. And there are certain characteristics that are kind of true to swamp ash, but you can still play around with it a little bit. You can get something that's maybe a little bit brighter, something that's maybe a little bit softer, a little bit more pillowy sounding, and then you can tune the instrument up in other ways, like with different fretboard selection, different neck wood. Like if you're using a hardwood top on a softwood body, it'll help bring out some of the highs, give a little bit more shimmer. But the fretboard is really kind of the money selection, and it's almost, in my opinion, probably one of the most critical wood selections on any instrument, because you can completely change the character of an instrument by changing the fretboard material. It's a harder wood.
Ebony being very bright.
Yeah, ebony's a very, very hard, dense wood.
Rosewood, a little more forgiving.
Yeah, rosewood's going to be a little bit warmer, a little bit softer sounding. It's got a lot more oil in it, so it's not quite as bright or as brittle sounding as ebony. Some people, they want that really, really hard, articulate sound. Other people, it's maybe a little bit too brittle for their taste. Maple is a nice, bright wood that has good articulate qualities, and then Wengie, again, is a very articulate wood that has a nice snap to it.
How did you get into building these instruments?
Well, I was playing primarily for a living, playing as a professional musician, and I was playing an instrument that was really, I wanted to make some changes, I wanted to get something different, and at the time, there wasn't the variety of instruments available in the market that there are now. I just decided, I had a background in fine art. I was a crafts department major.
So who were you playing with?
I was doing a lot of working gigs, a lot of working band stuff, and when I started working on this, I thought, well, this is the sort of thing that I could maybe use as a supplemental to my income, so that I could maybe do fewer gigs that were work and more gigs that I enjoyed. So
now this is your full-time thing.
This is my full-time thing now, but it's 18 years, 18 years in the making. So
I mean, you've developed a huge reputation in the bass community as like building these shit basses. I mean, they sound great, they're easy to play, they just feel right.
Well, one of the things that I think is really nice about my instruments, at least to me, is that all of the necks, all of the contours on the body, with the exception of the radius, are all hand-shaped with either with a rasp or gouge, or gouge and mallet, traditional hand building techniques. And when you're hand shaping a neck, you spend a lot of time with it, and the ergonomics of the neck become really
important.
As a result, my instruments have developed in very, very small ways continually over the last 18 years. There are always small refinements that are always happening. It's not like you make a design and then you put it in production and then that's what it is until you change the model.
Right.
It's like it's constantly evolving in very minute ways. So.
Do you make guitars?
No, not at the moment.
You got something against guitar players, man?
Absolutely.
Hey, it's your buddy Brian Kehoe, hanging out with Rob Elrick. Say adios amigos from Dunlop TV.